Another week of TOQEPH. BINACH, the water for tuning in.
The 12 Woes, the Messiah / Hamashiach / Christ, temporary Masonic kingdom. I ain't gotta tell you. You know what it is. Dodge your own hijacks. Let's get it. And he answered me and said unto me, into 12 parts is that time divided, and each one of them is reserved for that which is appointed for it. The 12 parts, the 12 loops, everything going on at the same damn time. Is the cat alive or dead? In the box? What's going on? It's all happening. So you got 12 intervals, 12 loops that are in a continuous loop. Everything going on. In the first part, there shall be the beginning of commotions. Alright? And in the second part, there should be slayings of the great ones. And in the third part, the fall of many by death. And in the fourth part, the sending of the sword. And in the fifth part, famine and withholding of rain. And in the sixth part, earthquakes, terrors, wanting, and in the eighth part, a multitude of specters and attacks of the Sheddim. And in the ninth part, the fall of fire. And in the 10th part, raping and much oppression. And in the 11th part, wickedness and unchastity. And in the 12th part, confusion from the mingling together of all these things foresaid. So what we got going on? What's going on in the world around you? You got earthquakes. You got terror. You got the beast coming out to play, to mingle. You got raping going on. There's pollution round about you. So I say unto you, is the mingling of everything, the 12th part, here, today, right now. This world is going to shit. Take a look at what you live around. This is why the Most High said, don't get attached. Don't fall in love with the things of this world, because your world is to come. What is not happening right now got confusion of leaders going on. You got wars popping off. You got water wars popping off, frequency wars popping off. You got an attack on Hasharella popping off. There's so much going on today in this world that I think we as people really don't want to address it or talk about it. And we want to continue living the lie like it's all good. But supposedly some man came and died for all our sins, and we can keep on sinning and living in the shit and mingling with the shit. Because JC came and died for our sins. But when it comes to judging, there is only one. There is only but one. So check it. And in the 12-part confusion from the mingling together, okay, of all these things foresaid, for these parts of that time are reserved, and shall be mingled one with another, and minister one to another. For some shall leave out from their own, and receive in its stead from others. And some shall complete their own, and that of others, so that those may not understand who are upon earth. In those days, future tense, in those days, Hawa, that this is the consumption of times. Baruch. So who got the consumption of time drop? Abraham, Moseh, Baruch, Esdras. Wow business. Who's speaking about David rising? Daniel, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Malachi. Come on. The list goes on and on and on. Dead Sea Scrolls talking about what? The elect under a Melchizedek flow. That shall do what? Write their names on their foreheads. This is what Esdras is being told. You got Legend of the Hebrews popping off with that weed. And the justification of that weed. But yet, somebody was already resurrected. But we still living with the shit. Is you hearing me? Things that go on around you ain't for you, Hasharella. By no means. Nevertheless, whosoever understandeth shall then be wise. Understand, my people. Understand what's being told to the prophets. For the measure and reckoning of that time are 2 parts, a week of 7 weeks. And I answered and said, it is good for a man to come, and behold, but it is better that he should not come, lest he fall. But I will say this also, will he who is incorruptible despise those things which are corruptible? Yes. Think about it. And whatever befalleth in the case of those things which are corruptible, so that he might look only to those things which are not corruptible. But if, O Hoa, those things shall assuredly come to pass, which you has foretold to me, so do you show this also unto me, if indeed I have found grace in thy sight. It is in one place, or in one of the parts of the earth, that those things are to come to pass, or will the whole earth experience them? So he's asking, how's this gonna come? Where is the whole earth gonna experience what's gonna happen within these 12 intervals, these 12 loops? And let's see what the Most High has to say. And he answered and said unto me, whatever shall then befall shall befall the whole earth. Therefore, all who live shall experience them. But for at that time, I will protect only those who are found in those self same days in this land. Okay. Stop. Think about it. What's popping off in China? Huh? Open up YouTube. What you got? Weather disasters everywhere, mudslides, water tearing up stuff in Japan, China, what have you. Africa getting hit. Who getting hit? All earth. Understand what he just said though, but I will only protect those on this land. What's going on in Israel? The fake ass Israel. Come on. What's going on over there in Russia? Who they just finished jamming up? Understand what the Most High is telling you. I'm only gonna protect this land. What's he talking about? He's talking about Shem, Lot, Melchizedek, Lot, elect, Lot. And it shall come to pass, when all is accomplished, that was to come to pass in those parts, that the Hamashiach shall then begin to be revealed. Okay. The Hamashiach, the Messiah. Okay. AKA Christ, what have you. will begin to be revealed, and Bohemoth, okay, shall be revealed from his place, and Leviathan shall ascend from the sea. Those two great monsters, which I created on the 5th day of creation, and shall have kept until that time, and then they shall be for food, Got the prophecy. You know what it is. For all that are left, the earth also shall yield its fruit 10,000-fold. And on one vine there shall be 1,000 branches, and each branch shall produce 1,000 clusters. And each cluster shall have produced 1,000 grapes, and each grape shall produce a core of wine. Come on. And those who have hungered shall rejoice.
Wow.
Hoa. Moreover, also they shall behold marvels every day. For the winds shall go forth from before me to bring every morning a fragrance of aromatic fruits.
Wow.
And at the close of the day, clouds distilling the dew of health. Okay? Mem sauce. So mem sauce of health. Spilling. Coming straight from the heavens. Alright? And this shall come to pass at that self time, that the treasure of manna shall again descend from on high, and they shall eat of it in those years. Come on. So it sounds like what? It sounds like the Messiah gonna be, what he's saying is the Messiah, the Hamashiach gonna be noticed. Okay? Leviathan, Bohemoth, noticed. It seems like a glory of a time. Okay? Okay. Alright. For the winds shall go forth from before me to bring every morning the fragrance of aromatic fruits, and at the close of the day clouds distilling the dew of health. And it shall come to pass at that self same time that the treasury of manna shall again descend from on high, and they shall eat of it in those years, because these are they who have come to the consumption of time. Okay. And it shall come to pass after these things, when the time of the advent of the Messiah is fulfilled, and he shall return in glory. Okay. Alright. Let's hop into another book right quick. Dead Sea Scrolls, chapter Melchizedek. Alright. Let's go and get it. Your power. And as for what he said, alright, we're talking Leviticus 25:13. Alright, this Dead Sea Scrolls chapter is Melchizedek 11Q 13. Alright. In this year of Jubilee, you shall return each one to his respective property, as is written. Okay. This is the manner of effecting the release every creditor. Alright, so releasing every creditor shall release what he lent to his neighbor. He shall not coerce his neighbor or his brother when the release for Hawa has been proclaimed. Okay, so we're talking about every 50 years, right? The Jubilee, right? We're talking about the Jubilee year, but we're also talking about the fact that you can't tax your brethren after 7 years, okay? All debt paid off. You see what I'm saying? So it's referring to a comparison. Alright? He shall not coerce his neighbor or his brother when the release for Hawa has been proclaimed. Okay. So when the release of Hawa has been proclaimed, he shall not coerce his neighbor or his brother. Alright? It's interpretation for the last days. Okay? Its interpretation for the last days refers to the captives about whom he said. Who is he? He is Isaiah 61, chapter 1. Okay? Its interpretation for the last days refers to the captives. So think about this. Who are the captives? And he will make their rebels prisoners. Okay? Alright, so you're understanding this, right? It's the Melchizedek chapter, Dead Sea Scrolls. So we're understanding that we shall not coerce our neighbor, our brother. When the release for Hawa has been proclaimed, the release, what release? What are we doing? What's going on? Its interpretation for the last days refers to the captives about whom he said, who is he? Isaiah 61:1. To proclaim liberty to the captives, and he will make their rebels prisoners, and of the inheritance of Melchizedek, for they are the inheritance of Melchizedek. Okay. What's going on, Esdras, chapter 2? Who's being crowned? You have people being crowned. You have these elites being crowned. What's going to happen? And he will make their rebels prisoners, and of the inheritance of Melchizedek, for they are the inheritance of Melchizedek, who will make them return. He will proclaim, right, liberty for them, to free them from debt of all their iniquities. So we're talking David. Who's prophesizing David? Who's prophesizing David? I'm saying again, who is prophesizing David? All the prophets. To free them from debt of their iniquities. And this will happen in the first weeks of the Jubilee, which follows the 9 Jubilees, and the Day of Atonement is the end of the 10th Jubilee, in which the atonement will be made for all the sons of Hawa, and for the men of the lot of Melchizedek. And on the heights he will, declare in their favor according to their lots. For it is the time of the year. It is the time of the year of grace. So what's the time? The year of grace. For who? Melchizedek. To exile in the trial the holy ones of Hawa through the rule of judgment, as it is written about him in the songs of David, who said, Elohim will stand up in the assembly. Okay? In the midst of the gods, he judges. Who judges? He judges. And about him, he said,
Wow.
above it, Hawa, Hawa, return to the heights. Hawa will judge the people. As for what he said, how long will you judge unjustly and show partially to the wicked? Sa. Its interpretation concerns Baal and the spirits of his lot, who were rebels, all of them, turning aside from the commandments of Hawa to commit evil. But Melchizedek, okay, highest order. Who got the highest order? David got the highest order. Khan, priest, okay, priest, king, and prophet. But Melchizedek will carry out the vengeance of Hawa's judges on this day, and they shall be freed from the hands of Baal and from the hands of all spirits of his lot. Okay? Let's run it back. What we're talking about. It is the time of the year. It is the time of the year of grace. Alright, let's run it back. Let's hop back in Baruch. Alright, so what's going on? What's going on? For at that time I will protect only those who are found in those self-same days in the land. And it shall come to pass when all is accomplished, that was to come to pass in those parts, and that the Messiah shall then begin to be revealed, and Bohemoth shall be revealed from his place, and Leviathan shall ascend from the sea. Those great two monsters which I created on the 5th day of creation shall have kept until that time, and then they shall be for food for all that are left. The earth also shall yield its fruit 10,000-fold on one vine. There should be 1,000 branches. Each branch shall produce 1,000 clusters. Each cluster shall produce 1,000 grapes. Each grape shall produce a core of wine. And those who have hungered shall rejoice. Moreover, also they shall behold marvels every day. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? The year of grace. For the winds shall go forth from before me to bring every morning the fragrance of aromatic fruits, and at the close of the day clouds distilling dew of honey. And it shall come to pass at that same self time that the treasury of manna shall again descend from on high, and they shall eat of it in those years, because these are they who have come to the consumption of time. And it shall come to pass after these things, when the time of the advent of Hamashiach is fulfilled, and he shall return in glory, glory, glory. What time are we in? The year of grace. Alright, let's get it. We got 12 intervals. Okay? This is what they're saying. Alright, we're putting everything together. Alright? So let's go on. Hop back in Dead Sea Scrolls and finish this. And for the men of the lot of Melchizedek, and on the heights, he will declare favor according to their lots. For it is the time of the year of grace for Melchizedek to exalt in the trial, the holy ones of Hawa through the rule of judgment, as is written about him in the song of David, who said, all right, Psalms 82:1, Elohim will stand up in the assembly, okay, of Hawa, in the midst of gods, he judges. And about him, he said, above it, return to the heights, Hawa will judge the peoples. As for what he said, how long will you judge unjustly and show partially to the wicked? Its interpretation concerns Baal and the spirits of his lot, who were rebels, all of them turning aside from the commandments of Hawa to commit evil. But Melchizedek will carry out vengeance of Hawa's judges on this day, and they shall be freed from the hands of Baal and from the hands of all the spirits and of his lot. To his aid shall come all the gods of justice. Okay, I'm talking dragons. He is the one is to his aid shall come all, okay? Justice is the one who will prevail on this day over all the sons of Hawa, and he will preside over the assembly. This is the day of peace which Hawa spoke of through old words of Isaiah the prophet, okay, who said, Isaiah 52:7, how beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of the messenger. Who's the messenger? The Hamashiach. So how beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of the Hamashiach, who announces peace. All right, the Hamashiach of good, who announces salvation, saying to Zion, your power, your Hawa, its interpretation. The mountains are the prophets, and the messenger is the anointed of the Spirit. Who's anointed of the Spirit, son? Who's anointed? Who is the last person to get anointed? Who was anointed? About whom Daniel spoke, okay? And the messenger. And the messenger who announces salvation is the one about whom it is written that he will send him to comfort the afflicted, to watch over the afflicted ones of Zion, to comfort the afflicted. Its interpretation, to instruct them in all the ages of the world in truth. It has been turned away from Baal, and it in the judgments of Hawa, as it is written about him, saying to Zion, your Hawa rules. Zion is the congregation of all the sons of justice, those who establish the covenant, those who avoid walking on the path of people. Your power, okay, your power. Melchizedek, who will free them from the hand of Baal, and as for what he said, you shall blow the horn in the land.
Wow.
Hawa. All right, so let's get it. Right, so during this time, back in Baruch, the advent of the Messiah is what? Fulfilled. And he shall return in glory. Let's get it. Next one, the resurrection. The resurrection. Baruch. Then shall all who have fallen asleep in hope of him rise again. Alright. And it shall come to pass at that time, that the treasuries shall be opened, in which is preserved the number of souls of the righteous, and they shall come forth, and the multitude of souls shall be seen together in one assemblage, okay, of one thought. And the first shall rejoice, for the last shall not be grieved, for they know that the time had come, of which it is said that it is the consumption of times. But the souls of the wicked, when they behold all these things, shall then waste away the more. For they shall know that their torment had come, and their perdition had arrived. Alright? Remember, Esdras, you got the people on the right, you got the people on the left. Alright? Let's finish getting this Baruch. Baruch's exhortation to the people. And it came to pass after these things that I went to the people and said unto them, Assemble unto me all your elders, and I will speak words unto them. And they all assembled in the valley of Kidron. And I answered and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, and I will speak to you. And give ear, O seed of Hakab. So he talking to who? He talking to both of them. And I will instruct thee. Forget not Zion, but hold in remembrance the anguish of Jerusalem. For lo, the days come when everything that exists will become the prey of corruption, and be as though it had not been. But as for you, if you prepare your hearts so as to show in them the fruits of the law, it shall protect you in that time, in which the Mighty One is to shake the whole creation. Because after a little time, the building of Zion shall be shaken, in order that it may again be built. You understand me? But that building shall not remain, but shall again, after a time, be rooted out, and shall remain desolate until that time. And afterwards, it must be renewed in glory and perfected forevermore. Therefore, we should not be distressed so much over the evil which had now come as over that which is still to be is greater, for there should be greater trials than these two tribulations, when the Mighty One shall renew his creation. Renew. Come on. And now, do not draw near me for a few days, nor seek me till I come to you. And it came to pass, when I spoken to them all these words, that I, Baruch, went my way. And when the people saw me sitting out, they lifted up their voice and lamented. And I said, Whither departest you from us, Baruch, and forsake us, as a father who forsaken his orphan children and departed from them? Are these the commands which thy companion Jeremiah, a boy Jeremiah, when Jeremiah first hit the scene, he was a boy preaching, prophesying. The Most High told him, have no fear in your heart, have no fear, for I am with you. Because these people here, I know how they can be. I know how my people are. Have no fear, Jeremiah, for you were found sinless. You understand me? That's in the beginning of the book. Baruch will tell you that Jeremiah was found sinless. Wow. So let's get it. Are these the commands which thy companion Haramawah, the prophet, commanded thee, and said unto thee, Look to these people till I go and make ready the rest of the brethren in Babylon, against whom had gone forth the sentence that they should be led into captivity. And now, if thou also forsake us, it were good for us all to die before thee, and then that you shouldest withdraw from us. Let's get it. Baruch's lament. Alright. And I answered, and I said unto the people, Far be it from me to forsake you, or to withdraw from you, but I will only go unto the holies of holies, to inquire of the mighty one concerning you, Hashrela, and concerning Zion. If in some respect I should receive more illumination, and after these things I will return to you. And I, Baruch, went to the holy place and sat down upon the ruins and wept and said, Oh, that mine eyes were springs, and ye my eyelids a fount of tears. For how shall I lament for Zion, and how shall I mourn for Jerusalem? For in that place where I am now prostrate, the high priest of old offered holy sacrifices, and placed therein incense of fragrant odors. But now our glorying had been made unto dust, and the desire of our soul into sand. Reading the Apocalypse of Baruch. The vision of the forest. And then I had said these things. I fell asleep there, and I saw a vision in the night, and lo, a forest of trees planted on plain, and lofty and rocky mountains surrounded it, and that forest occupied much space, and lo, over against it arose a vine, and from under it there went forth a fountain peacefully. Now that fountain came to the forest, and was steered into great waves, and those waves submerged that forest, and suddenly they rooted out the greater part of that forest, and overthrew all the mountain which were round about it, and the height of the forest began to be made low, and the top of the mountains was made low, and that fountain prevailed greatly, so it left nothing of that great forest, save one cedar only. Also, when it had cast it down, and had destroyed and rooted out the greater part of that forest, so that nothing was left of it, nor could its place be recognized, then that vine began to come with the fountain in peace and great tranquility, and it came to the place which was not far from the cedar. And they brought the cedar which had been cast down to it, and I beheld, and lo, that vine opened its mouth and spake, and said to that cedar, Are you not that cedar which was left of the forest of wickedness, by whose means wickedness persisted, and was wrought all those years, and goodness never? And you didst keep conquering that which was not thine, not yours, and to that which was yours you didst never show compassion, and you didn't keep extending thy power over those who were far from thee, and those who drew near thee. You didst hold fast in the toils of thy wickedness, and you didst uplift thyself always as one that could not be rooted out. But now thy time has sped, and thy hour is come. Do you also therefore depart, O cedar, after the forest, which departed before thee, and became dust with it? And let your ashes be mingled together, and now recline in anguish and rest in torment, till thy last time come, in which thou shalt come again, and be tormented still more after. And after these things I saw that cedar burning, and the vine growing itself, and all around it, but the plain full of unfading flowers. And I indeed awoke and arose. The interpretation of the vision. Next chapter. Let's go. So let's see what this interpretation is. Let's see what's going on. And I prayed and said, O Hawa, my power, you thus always enlighten those who are led by understanding. The law, the Torah. Torah is life, and thy wisdom is right guidance. Make known to me, therefore, the interpretation of this vision, for thou knowest that my soul hath always walked in thy law, and from my earliest days I departed not from thy wisdom. And he answered and said unto me, Baruch, this is the interpretation of the vision which thou hast seen, as you have seen a great forest, which lofty and rugged mountains surrounded. This is the world. Behold, the days come, and this kingdom shall be destroyed, which once destroyed Zion, and it shall be subject to that which cometh after it. Moreover, that also again after a time shall be destroyed, and another, a third shall arise, and that also shall have dominion over its time, and it shall be destroyed. After these things, a fourth kingdom shall arise, whose power shall be harsh and evil, far beyond those which were before it, and it shall rule many times. As for the forest on the plain, and it shall hold fast the times, and shall exalt itself more than the cedars of Lebanon, and by it the truth shall be hidden, and all those who are polluted with iniquity shall flee to it, as the evil beasts flee and creep into the forest. And it shall come to pass, when the time of his consumption, that he shall fall, had approached. Okay? Then the principate of my Messiah, HaMashiach, shall be revealed. What's going on? What's going on? We got a prophecy in the building. We got somebody coming back. All the prophets saying they. Baruch and Esdras don't know if it's Esdras, unless our scripture is tainted. But somebody coming back. Somebody coming back. Malachi. Who coming back? David coming back. Ezekiel. Who's going to be raised? Come. Daniel. Vision, right? Vision. The vision of Daniel. Come. Alright. 4. Then the principate of my Hamashiach shall be revealed, which is like the fountain. The Memsar. Okay, which is like the fountain. Alright, Pressure John. Alright, let's go. And the vine, and when it is revealed, it shall root out the multitude of its host, and as touching that which you had seen, the lofty cedar which was left of that forest, and the fact that the vine spoke those words with it, which you didst hear, this is the word. This is the word. The last leader of that time shall be left alive. Okay. That's cedar, right? Okay. When the multitude of his hosts shall be put to the sword, he shall be bound, and they shall take him up to Mount Zion. Okay. Same thing we just got in Dead Sea Scrolls, right? Same thing popping off in Esdras, Khan. We getting the same thing in what? Baruch. Same thing Moseh got, right? Same thing Abraham got, Khan. Alright, let's get it. And my Messiah shall convict him of all these impities, and shall gather and set before him all the works of his host. And afterwards he shall put him to death, and protect the rest of my people, which shall be found in this place which I have chosen. And his principate shall stand forever until the world of corruption is at an end, and until the times are for said are fulfilled. Hoa, hoa. This is the vision, and this is its interpretation. Alright. The destiny of apostates and prosates.
Wow.
And I answered and said, to whom and for many shall these things be, or who will be worthy to live at that time? For I will speak before thee everything that I think, and I will ask of thee regarding those things which I meditate. For lo, I see many of thy people who have withdrawn from thy Torah, thy covenant, and cast from them the yoke of thy law. But others again I have seen who have forsaken their vanity and fled for the refuge beneath thy wings. What therefore shall be to them, or how shall the last time receive them? Or perhaps the time of these shall surely be weighed, and as the beam inclineth, shall they be judged accordingly? And he answered and said unto me, these things also I will show you unto thee. As for what you did say, to whom shall these things be, and how many shall they be? To those who have believed there shall be the good which was spoken of aforetime, and to those who despise there shall be the contrary of these things. And as for what you did say regarding those who have drawn near and those who have withdrawn, this is the word. As for those who were before subject and afterwards withdrew and mingled themselves with the seed of mingled peoples, the time of these was the former, and was accounted as something exalted, and as for those who before knew not, but afterwards knew life and mingled with the seed of the people which had separated itself, the time of these is later, and is accounted as something exalted, and time shall succeed time. So time shall succeed time, and the season to season, and one shall receive from another, and then with a view to the consumption shall everything be compared according to the measure of the times and the hours of the seasons, for corruption shall take those that belong to it, and life those that belong to it. Remember what Moses says. Choose today life. Choose you, my nigga, today life. And the dust shall be called, and there shall be said to it, give back that which is not thine, and raise up all that has kept until this time. Let's go. Baruch is told of his death. But do you, Baruch, direct thy heart for that which had been said to thee, and understand those things which have been shown to thee? For they are many eternal consolations for thee. For thou shalt depart from this place, and thou shalt pass from the regions which are now seen by thee. And you shall forget whatever is corruptible, and shall not again recall those things which happen among mortals. Go therefore and command thy people, and come to this place afterwards, fast 7 days, and then I will come to thee and speak with thee. Alright, let's get it. Baruch's word to the people. And I, Baruch, went from thence, and came to my people, and I called my firstborn son, Gedaliah, my friends, and 7 of the elders of the people. And I said unto them, behold, I go unto my fathers, according to the way of all of my earth. But withdraw ye not from the way of the law, but guard and admonish the people which remain, lest they withdraw from the commandments of the Mighty One. For you see that he whom we serve is just, and our Creator is no respecter of persons. And you see what had befallen Zion, and what had happened to Jerusalem. For the judgment of the Mighty One shall thereby be made known, and his ways which, though past finding out, are right. For if you endure and persevere in his fear, and do not forget his law, the time shall change over for you for good, and you shall see the consolation of Zion, because whatever is now is nothing. But that which shall be very great, for everything that is corruptible shall pass away, and everything that dieth shall depart, and all the present time shall be forgotten, nor shall there be any remembrance of the present time which is defiled with evils, for that which ruineth now runneth unto vanity. Okay? And that which prospereth shall quickly fall and be humiliated. For that which is to be shall be the object of desire. Desire. And on that which shall come afterwards do we place our hope, for it is a time that shall not pass away, and the hour cometh, which shall abide forever, and the new world cometh, which doth not turn to corruption, those who depart to its blessedness, and had no mercy on those who depart to torment, and shall not lead the perdition those who live in it. For these are they who shall inherit that time which had been spoken of, and theirs is the inheritance of the promised time. These are they who have acquired for themselves treasures of wisdom, and with them are found stores of understanding, and from mercy they have not withdrawn, and the truth of the law have they preserved. For to them shall be given the word to come, but the dwelling of the rest, who are many, shall be in the fire. Do you therefore, so far as you are able, instruct the people, for that labor is yours. For if you teach them, you will quicken them. And my son and my elders of the people answered and said unto me, had the Mighty One humiliated us?
Wow.
To such a degree as to take thee from us quickly? And truly we shall be in darkness, and there will be no light to the people who are left. For where again shall we seek the law, or who will distinguish for us between death and life? And I said unto them, the throne of the Mighty One I cannot resist. Ooh. Come on. Nevertheless, there shall not be wanting to Israel a wise man. See what I'm saying? Nor a son of the law to the race of Jacob, but only prepare your hearts that you may obey the law. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Man giving you the drop, man. Don't worry about nothing else. Don't worry about nothing else. Don't take your energy and put it into energy that is not for you, Hebrew. Nor a son of the law to the race of Jacob. Okay? Nevertheless, there shall not be wanting to Israel a wise man, but only prepare your hearts that you may obey the law. What was the last covenant? What was told to Jeremiah? He's going to put a new what? A new heart within them. A new vibration within them. He's telling Baruch, prepare your heart that you may obey the law to his people, and be subject to those who in fear are wise and understanding. And prepare your soul that you may not depart from them. For if you do these things, good tidings shall come unto you, which I before told you of, nor will you fall into torment, of which I testified to you before. But with regard to the world that I was to be taken, I did not make it known to them or to my son. And when I had gone forth and dismissed them, I went thence and said unto them, behold, I go to Hebron, for thither the Mighty One has sent me. And I come to that place where the word had been spoken to me. And I sat there and fasted 7 days. Alright. That's where we at with it. Next chapter. Prayer of Baruch. Alright. Khan. To the next strong. To To the next strong. Stay strong, stay strong. Wow.